What if the profound peace you've been searching for your entire life isn't out there in the world, but is already inside a locked room within your own mind? And what if you've been searching for the key under the streetlights of external success, perfect relationships, and a calm world, when all along that key has been resting quietly in your own pocket? Finally, what if I told you that an ancient map exists, drawn thousands of years ago, that doesn't just show you where the key is, but teaches you, step by step, how to use it to unlock that room of inner peace forever? As the great Buddha once so wisely said, peace comes from within, do not seek it without. In a world that is constantly pulling our attention in 1,000 different directions, between the demands of work, the complexities of relationships, and the relentless pressure of everyday life, finding that inner calm can feel like an impossible quest. We often search for peace in external things, believing that once our circumstances finally change, then we will feel at ease. But the peace you're so desperately looking for is already within you, patiently waiting to be discovered. In today's journey together, we will dive deep into the powerful and timeless teachings of Buddhism. We will explore practices that show you how to cultivate a lasting peace and a resilient tranquility from within. No matter how chaotic the world around you may seem, so stick with us as we guide you on a journey to unlock true, unshakable inner peace. 1. Understanding the nature of the mind. To begin this journey, it is essential to first grasp the fundamental nature of the very mind we seek to calm. In Buddhist teachings, the mind is often compared to a restless monkey, frantically swinging from one tree branch to the next, constantly in motion, easily distracted, and never truly still. This powerful concept, known as the monkey mind, perfectly illustrates how our thoughts often leap chaotically from one to another, from a memory of the past, to a worry about the future, to a random distraction in the present, leaving us feeling overwhelmed, scattered, and struggling to find even a moment of mental peace. The mind, by its very design, rarely stays still. It is a biological marvel, constantly processing information, reacting to stimuli, and spinning countless thoughts that often create anxiety, stress, or emotional turmoil. Understanding that this constant motion is the mind's default nature is the crucial first step toward calming it. It means we can stop fighting a battle we can never win. We don't need to try and cage the monkey or force the mind to stop moving. Instead, we can learn to simply observe it without judgment and without reaction. When we sit quietly and practice mindfulness, we begin to notice the wild patterns of our thoughts from a distance. Over time, with patient practice, we can begin to detach from the powerful belief that our thoughts are us. You are not the fleeting thought. You are the spacious awareness observing the thought. Mindfulness meditation is an indispensable tool for developing this awareness. Through regular practice, you train yourself to observe thoughts without getting swept away by them. For instance, when a negative or anxious thought arises, instead of immediately grabbing onto it and following it down a rabbit hole of distress, you can learn to observe it as if you're watching a cloud drift across the vast, open sky. This process creates a precious space between your thoughts and your reactions, allowing you to approach life with far greater clarity, wisdom, and calm. By understanding that the mind is naturally restless, you can stop blaming yourself for not being able to focus or be at peace all the time, and instead begin the gentle process of becoming its friend. 2. Protect your energy by eliminating the drains of life. Our energy is our most vital and finite resource. Yet many of us go through our days completely unaware of the subtle leaks that are draining us. These drains can be external, such as toxic relationships, stressful work environments, or the constant barrage of negative news, or they can be internal, such as our own negative thinking patterns, resentments we hold on to, or unproductive habits. These energy drains often leave us feeling exhausted, anxious, or overwhelmed, and before we know it, we are mentally, emotionally, and physically depleted. Protecting your energy is therefore a crucial and sacred practice for maintaining inner peace. The first step is to become an honest detective of your own life and identify exactly what drains you. For example, do you find yourself feeling exhausted and heavy after spending time with certain individuals who constantly complain or create drama? Are there specific environments or situations that consistently leave you feeling tense or anxious? Recognizing these sources of energy depletion is the first, empowering step toward creating healthy boundaries that protect your peace. Buddhism teaches the profound importance of establishing these boundaries, both mentally and physically, to conserve our precious energy. In practice, this might mean learning to say no more often, without guilt or apology. It could mean scheduling non-negotiable time for self-care, or creating physical spaces in your home where you can truly relax without distractions. If you find that the endless scroll of social media is draining you, consider setting firm limits on your time or curating your feed to be uplifting and inspiring. Likewise, it involves consciously choosing to spend more time with people who uplift you and make you feel energized, rather than depleted. Protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's a necessary foundation upon which all inner peace is built. 3. Rewiring your brain to break free from stressful thought patterns. Our thoughts are incredibly powerful. They are the paintbrush with which we color our reality, influencing our emotions, our actions, and even our physical well-being. Far too often, we find ourselves trapped in deeply ingrained, stressful thought patterns that reinforce anxiety, fear, or negativity. These patterns become like well-worn grooves or ruts on a mental highway, creating a kind of autopilot where our thoughts automatically travel down the same stressful path. Time and time again, the truly good news is that our brains are not fixed. With mindfulness and intentional practice, we can actually rewire these neural pathways and break free from these harmful cycles. The first step is always awareness. Take a moment to notice how you typically respond to stress. Do you immediately spiral into catastrophic thinking, imagining the worst-case scenarios? Are you prone to harsh self-criticism or relentless worry? These patterns may be automatic, but they are not unbreakable. Buddhism teaches that much of our suffering arises from our attachment to these thoughts. When we latch onto a specific anxious thought, we often dwell on it, replay it, and feed it, which only intensifies our feelings of stress. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to create a space between ourselves and our thoughts. We learn to pause, to observe, and not to react immediately. When we detach from our thoughts in this way, they begin to lose their power over us. One powerful method for this is the practice of noting. This is a simple technique where, as thoughts arise, you mentally and gently note what the thought is, such as thinking, worrying, or planning. This simple act of acknowledgement, of naming the thought, helps you detach from its content. You become the observer rather than the participant. By bringing this gentle awareness to your thoughts without engaging with them, you can break the cycle of stress and prevent a single negative thought from spiraling out of control. 4. The power of acceptance and letting go. Acceptance is one of the most transformative, and often one of the most challenging, practices in the Buddhist tradition. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to strive, to control, to fix, and to achieve more. But true, unshakable peace comes not from trying to control every aspect of our lives, but from the wisdom of accepting life as it is. In this moment, now, acceptance doesn't mean resigning yourself to a life of passivity or tolerating unhealthy situations. Rather, it means recognizing the profound truth that there are some things in life that are simply beyond your control. Resistance to this reality is like trying to push a river upstream. It is exhausting, futile, and creates immense internal struggle. By accepting what is, you free yourself from this constant battle. For example, if you find yourself facing a difficult situation like an illness or a loss, accepting the reality of it, not necessarily liking it, but accepting that it is, allows you to move through the experience with more grace and peace. When we resist or deny what is happening, we create an extra layer of unnecessary suffering for ourselves. But by accepting what is, we create the mental and emotional space required for healing. This principle also applies directly to your emotions. So often, we try to suppress or ignore uncomfortable feelings like sadness, anger, or frustration, but these emotions are a natural part of being human. Instead of fighting them, the practice is to accept them as they are. Acknowledge your feelings. Allow yourself to experience them fully without judgment, and trust that they, like everything else, will pass. This practice of acceptance is essential for letting go of emotional tension and cultivating a deep and abiding peace within. 5. Finding stillness in the storm. Life is inherently unpredictable, often filled with moments of chaos and uncertainty. It could be personal challenges like relationship issues, health concerns, or work pressures, or it could be larger global events that leave us feeling powerless and overwhelmed. In such moments, the world can feel like a whirlwind of stress and confusion, and the very idea of finding peace can seem like a cruel joke. But the key to true peace, according to Buddhist wisdom, is not about escaping the storm of life, but about learning how to find the stillness within the storm. It's about discovering the eye of the hurricane that exists at your core. While external circumstances are always shifting and can feel turbulent, the real source of peace doesn't lie in changing those circumstances. It lies within you. Peace comes from our response to external events, not from controlling or avoiding them. One of the most powerful practices for discovering this inner stillness is meditation. Meditation helps us connect with the present moment and quiet the incessant noise in our minds. By simply sitting quietly and focusing on the sensation of your breath, you bring your awareness back to your body and into the now. Your breath becomes an anchor, dropping from the stormy surface of your mind down into the quiet depths of your being. Another highly effective technique is mindful breathing, especially when you feel overwhelmed. In these moments, simply take a step back and breathe deeply and slowly. As you focus on each full breath, you consciously let go of the stress you're holding onto, even for just a few minutes. This act can bring a profound sense of calm that is not dependent on what is happening around you. It becomes a portable refuge, a peaceful shield amidst the storm. 6. Designing your sanctuary by creating an environment for peace. Our external environment has a powerful and often underestimated impact on our internal state. The spaces we inhabit, whether our home, our workspace, or the places we spend our time, can either contribute to our sense of tranquility or add to our feelings of overwhelm and anxiety. The outer world is often a direct mirror of our inner world. This is why creating an environment that actively supports inner peace is an essential practice. A key principle here is simplicity. The idea is that when our surroundings are cluttered, our minds are also cluttered. It becomes much harder to focus, relax, or feel a sense of peace when we are surrounded by physical disorganization and chaos. When our living spaces are full of distractions, excess items, or things that no longer serve us, our brain is constantly receiving signals of tasks left undone and energy left unresolved. This not only increases mental fatigue, but also creates an environment that actively disrupts our ability to feel at ease. Designing your sanctuary means becoming the intentional architect of your own peace. It's about consciously curating an environment that whispers calm instead of shouting chaos. We've now laid the essential groundwork for peace, understanding the nature of our inner world and beginning to shape our outer world to support it. But what happens when we've done all this, yet still find ourselves caught in the grip of powerful emotions or difficult relationships? How do we apply these principles in the most challenging moments of our lives? That is where the path deepens, and it's precisely what we will explore next. We've established the vital importance of shaping our outer world to support our inner peace. But how do we move from this beautiful idea to a lived reality? We begin with the gentle, practical, and deeply rewarding art of designing your own personal sanctuary. To start, you must engage in the mindful act of decluttering your space. This is not simply about tidying up. It is a profound practice of letting go. Begin by moving through your living areas, one room at a time, and honestly assess what each item truly brings to your life. Does it offer genuine value, utility, or joy? If something doesn't serve a useful purpose or make your heart feel lighter, it might be time to release it. This process of decluttering does far more than just create physical space. It creates immense mental space. When you're no longer surrounded by the silent to-do lists and the stagnant energy of unnecessary things, your mind can settle more easily into a state of calm. Beyond decluttering, consider how your environment is a symphony for your senses. The colors in your space, for instance, have a profound effect on your nervous system. Soft, natural colors like the gentle hues of a misty morning, a quiet forest, or the warm tones of the earth often evoke feelings of peace and relaxation. Conversely, overly bright or aggressive colors can stimulate the mind, making it harder to feel calm. Think about bringing nature indoors. Nature is a powerful source of grounding energy, and incorporating its elements into your home can help you reconnect with a sense of innate calm. Whether it's through the quiet life of houseplants, the warmth of natural wood, or the soothing sound of flowing water, these elements serve as an antidote to our fast-paced, digital world. Lighting also plays a crucial role. Natural light is known to improve mood and foster a sense of well-being. Whenever possible, invite the sunlight into your space. If natural light is limited, avoid the aggressive glare of harsh overhead lighting, which can put our nervous system on high alert. Instead, opt for soft, warm light from lamps or even candles to promote a relaxed state of mind. And what of sound? In our noisy world, it is vital to create pockets of auditory peace. Consider ways to reduce unwanted noise, or introduce calming sounds like gentle music or nature recordings. Finally, think about carving out a specific, intentional space, a sacred corner, dedicated solely to your peace. It doesn't need to be large. It could be a cozy chair, a small cushion, or a meditation mat. Fill this space with items that inspire tranquility for you. The more you dedicate a specific area to calm and reflection, the more it will become an anchor for your mind, a place you can return to whenever you need to find your center. When you design your space with peace as the primary intention, you create more than just a beautiful room. You create a sanctuary where you can recharge, reflect, and cultivate the deep tranquility you deserve. 7. Healing from the past to embrace the present. Our past experiences, both joyful and painful, have a profound impact on how we navigate the present moment. So often, we carry the immense emotional weight of past events, particularly unresolved pain, deep regrets, or traumatic experiences. This can leave us feeling as though we are walking through life with a heavy backpack filled with the stones of yesterday's sorrows. We may find ourselves haunted by ghosts of our own making, replaying painful memories or carrying the burden of guilt, anger, or fear. In these moments, it can truly feel as though our past is controlling us, preventing us from ever experiencing peace in the present. However, healing from the past is a vital and courageous step in reclaiming your inner peace. And Buddhism offers profound wisdom on how to let go. This healing begins with gentle acknowledgement. To heal, we must first have the courage to recognize that we are carrying this weight. Denying or suppressing painful emotions is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It takes immense energy, and eventually it will burst to the surface. Instead, Buddhism teaches us to face our feelings with awareness and compassion, whether it's grief from a loss, anger from a conflict, or regret from a past decision. Acknowledging these emotions without judgment is the first step toward releasing them. This practice of mindful awareness involves being fully present with whatever emotions arise. When painful feelings come up, instead of pushing them away or distracting ourselves, we learn to simply sit with them. We observe them as they are, as energy in the body, without attaching labels or judgments. By doing this, we create a safe inner space where we can fully process the emotion and allow it to pass through us. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or pretending that painful events never happened. It is about freeing ourselves from the emotional grip these past experiences have on our present lives. One of the most profound Buddhist teachings is that everything is impermanent. Our thoughts, our emotions, and our circumstances are constantly shifting. Recognizing this helps us understand that our past does not have to define us. You are not the same person who experienced that pain. Like a river, you are ever flowing, ever new. Letting go means we stop allowing old wounds to dictate our responses in the present. It's a deeply freeing act. A powerful tool for this process is forgiveness. Buddhism teaches that forgiveness is essential for healing, not as a gift to others, but as a gift to yourself. Forgiving those who have wronged you doesn't mean condoning their actions. It means letting go of the toxic grip of anger and resentment. Holding on to a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Equally important is the practice of self-forgiveness. We are often our own harshest critics. Forgiving yourself is a vital act of loving kindness. Acknowledge your mistakes, learn from them, and then let go of the self-blame, knowing that your past actions do not define your inherent worth. Meditation is a powerful practice for this healing. As you meditate, you can bring to mind the painful experiences you wish to release. With each deep, mindful breath, picture yourself letting go of these burdens. Imagine them dissolving like dark smoke into the air, or visualize yourself gently placing them down, like a heavy stone you no longer need to carry. This act of intentional release is incredibly healing. Journaling, too, can be an act of compassionate witnessing, a way to pour the pain onto the page so it no longer has to be held within you. The path to inner peace, as we've explored, is not a singular action but a holistic journey. It begins with understanding and befriending our own minds, protecting our precious energy, freeing ourselves from stress through acceptance, finding calm in the midst of life's storms, creating nurturing surroundings, and finally, having the courage to heal from the past. Each of these steps is a thread, and when woven together, they create a beautiful tapestry of a life lived with intention and tranquility. Remember, peace is not a distant destination you must struggle to arrive at. It is an ongoing practice, a gentle journey of returning to your own center. It is your innate birthright, waiting patiently for you beneath the noise of the world. By embracing these timeless teachings, You are not finding something new. You are simply unlocking the deep sense of calm and unshakable peace that has existed within you all along. Thank you for walking this path with us today. If you found a moment of peace or a valuable insight within this guidance, please support our mission by giving this video a like, sharing it with anyone who might be searching for their own inner calm, and subscribing to continue your journey with our community. We are honored to help you on your path to inner peace and spiritual growth. Until we meet again, may you be well, and may you walk in peace.